That's what I said.
That's what she said.
You played a great set, by the way, both nights.
I like that.
Yep.
If you guys have never seen Mike play, go and see him. Seriously, do yourself a favor. Go watch Mike.
Wow, that's amazing. Just stop it. Do you have your advice ready to go, baby?
Live from Night Gig Studios.
Brown chicka bow bow.
My best advice is brought to you by Mims Ukes. It's where I buy my ukuleles. And also by my amazing supporters on patreon.com. If you like the podcast and feel like supporting it, do me a favor and go to patreon.com/Mike Hind and become a supporter. Become a patron. That's Mike Hind with a capital M and a capital H. So I'm here with JT Shea. He's my boy. He's my brother from another mother. Welcome to the show. I love advice. I love getting advice, and I love hearing other people's advice. And I love hearing what has helped people in their lives and helped make their lives better. I'm barely able to speak this evening. We are coming off of the Tampa Bay ukulele getaway, and you can hear the crackling in my voice. JT's is probably just as bad.
It's about an octave lower than it usually is, you know.
We all sound like George Ezra this morning. One of the reasons that I like Facebook so much is because I get a lot of advice off of it. Some good, some bad, some atrocious, and some pretty amazing. So when I decided to do a podcast, which is something that my good friend JT Shea has been pushing me to do for a long time, I tried to think of a good topic, and this one hit me, and I thought it would be a good idea, and here we are. This is episode 7, I believe, and I've been having a lot of fun so far with it over the last 3. This will be 2 months. This will be the 8th one because I skipped one. What will be a couple of weeks ago to put out my Christmas song. So here we are. I'm your host, Mike Hind, and this is my best advice. So we are here with JT Shea, who, as I mentioned, is my podcast guru. JT and I are ukulele players, and that's how we met each other and got to know each other. And he, good Lord, was it 4 years ago? Well, it was 5 years ago. You said I had to come down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it that first year that you asked me. Right. Because Christine and I were traveling out. I was just thinking about this today. We were in Orlando, and we came down to Tampa, and we're supposed to meet you, and didn't.
I don't remember.
For some reason. This was before we had actually met.
Okay.
And it was before that first T-Bug that I went to. And now I look back, and I think Christine maybe had some trepidation about meeting some strange guy that I knew from the internet. And looking back now and how close we all are as families, it just is amazing to me that she was like, I don't want to meet this guy that lives in Tampa. JT is my podcast guru. He has his own podcast.
It's intermittent.
It's an intermittent podcast called The Gigcast.
Well, no, The Gigcast has been...
Sorry.
Currently, it's drawing the wrong conclusions.
Drawing the wrong conclusions. Of course it is. That's right.
The Gigcast was about 11 years ago. It ran for 5 years. It was about webcomics.
And this is why I go to the JT Shea.
Yeah, so, congratulations on your little 2-month experiment so far here, Mike.
He's so friendly. We have to start somewhere.
I had about 200 plus shows under for the Gigcast, and me and my buddy Scott Gallatin.
Well, I'm at 7, so...
No, it's great. No, and you're doing very well. I'm very impressed.
Thank you very much.
With the quality of it and the guests you've had so far. You're doing really well.
So far, up until this week.
Now you're talking to me, so I don't know. Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
But the
already.
nice thing is it's all uphill from here.
All up, yeah, exactly. All uphill. You can't go anywhere but up. No, I'm really, really enjoying your show because I was talking to one of our good friends, another ukulele buddy who has a knitting podcast.
Yes, Joey.
Joey. And
Joey Gibson, do check that out. I will somewhere I'll put the
Not
link.
to send your listeners elsewhere, but like I said, it doesn't matter what the content is. If you're passionate about what you're talking about, it makes a show an interesting show, a radio show interesting.
And I think that was, because as I mentioned, you have been. I did Drawing the Wrong Conclusions with you once.
Yeah, you did.
And I had a blast with it, and I haven't. I've tried to think of what I wanted to do, and it was like, do I do ukuleles? And I'm like, yeah, but.
That's the thing. When I stopped doing the webcomics thing and got into ukuleles, I don't know enough about them. I enjoy playing and I like having fun with my friends about them, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to make a podcast just about ukuleles work.
And we do have the passion for them.
Yeah,
but it's there has to be sort of
yeah.
And I think I could have done a podcast about ukuleles and had a blast with it, but I couldn't see myself doing it 5 years.
Yeah.
But when this idea popped into my head, my best advice, I never second guessed it. I was like,
brilliant.
This is going to happen. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
So let's get to that.
Let's before it gets too meta. Yeah,
exactly. So give us a story about your best advice. Who was it that gave you this advice? Where were you, both as a person and geographically, when you got this advice?
This is going way back.
Cool. Like how long? Now, JT and I are of an age.
Of an age, indeed. So this is like 1984.
You were 2. Shut up.
So I was 14-ish, 15 years old.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to get my parents hated me, so they sent me away to a private high school. No, they didn't hate me. They wanted the best for me.
It feels like they hated you.
And so the dorm I was in was a very small dorm. There was only like 6 kids, and it was actually the international dorm. And the reason I was in that was because one of my best friends, this is my second year at that school, and so my best friends was from Canada, but his parents were working for Aramco in Saudi Arabia. And so since he was my best friend at the school, I somehow finagled my way into this small 3-room dorm, living with him, and the housemaster there, Mr. Suchert, was the chemistry teacher, but he was from Germany. His parents left Germany right after World War II, and he spent some time in the National Guard over here, and whatnot. But he was a huge German car nut, right? But at the time, so he's the one that gave me the advice. But at the time, I was just your average nerdy kid,
14-year-old dickhead.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just. But that's where I was at the time. So, and he's the one that gave me the advice.
And where was this?
This is in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts.
This is Tabor Academy up right on Buzzards Bay.
I know where Tabor is.
And there, and and you think with that type of an education start in life, I'd be much further along.
No,
right
because
now, that sort of thing.
You and I have talked about this in the past. I think part of the reason that you and I connected so quickly and as deeply as we did is because even though we're from different places, different thing, we both have similar experiences. I went to school in Maine, Kents Hill in Maine, and so we both had that sort of boarding school experience in Maine, and at around the same time. I will have to check, and I keep, every time we talk about this, which we haven't for a long time, I keep saying I need to check to see if Kents Hill played like lacrosse against you guys.
I
or
wouldn't
football,
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt
soccer.
it.
Wouldn't that be messed up if we were at the same football game at some point?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Because this is that type of school. I mean, they had the sailing team. They have a tall
Sailings,
ship.
Yeah, we were that
school. Tabor has a boat called the Tabor Boy. It's a schooner, a 2-masted schooner.
He says with pride,
Uh,
showing off
They
his fancy
I still
private
get
school.
emails asking for money.
I do
You
too.
can't get no money from me. Sorry.
They failed me.
I got nothing.
I flunked out of the high school, and I still get emails from them going, "Hey, alumnus, would you like to send some money?"
I walked graduation without enough credits to graduate. I had to go to I had to go to summer school to get my diploma.
This is why. See, I never got my diploma, but I did too. I was missing one credit.
They let me walk so I could get a rolled up blank piece of paper.
They didn't tell me until the day of, right before. It was like lunchtime. Mr. Hine,
Yeah.
can you please come to the?
But here's the thing: it's because I failed calculus. But I didn't even need the calculus credit. I just needed A credit. So I took a speech class over the summer, got an A in a speech class, and that was enough to graduate. Unbelievable. Whatever.
I flunked AP English. AP English, which I shouldn't have been taking because...
Yeah, anyway. But back to Mr. Sukert. Now,
back to Mr. Sukert.
Picture Schultz.
Schultz!
Yes, exactly.
I know.
Mr. Sukert, a huge guy, big, round... German guy with a short cropped haircut, gray on the edges, driving an Audi. But I mean, this is a guy who would late night pizza runs. I mean, piling these kids from his dorm into his car, driving to pizza places at 10 o'clock at night for a pizza run. Or he had a deal with the high school was in Marion. The closest McDonald's was in Fairhaven, a little bit next town over. He knew the Fairhaven, the McDonald's closed at 11 o'clock. He would go there at 11:05, and they would give him the cheeseburgers that didn't sell for I don't know if he had to do it for half price or 24 cents a burger. He'd go out there and come back with sacks and sacks of leftover hamburgers and cheeseburgers.
So he was like the best teacher
Oh
ever.
my God! You wonder why? It's just oh my God. It is funny, but this is a guy that I got the advice from.
So this at the time is a young, slender JT.
Yeah.
Shea.
Oh, I was skinny as all get. Yeah, I was a skinny guy before I went to the school. I was a skinny guy. Yeah.
And then,
I got pictures to prove it. And
then Schultz happened to you.
Yeah, something like that. Now, get in mind, I've been given lots of advice over the years, and I've never taken any of it. So the advice is good advice.
But you haven't. You don't.
Okay. And when you think now, the advice is going to sound pretty simple, but I'm going to extrapolate what it actually means, and what if you follow it, it makes perfect sense and it's great. But as you probably know from the way my life has turned out, I've never followed it, but it's great advice.
Okay, so hit us, Sarge.
Okay.
Sergeant Schultz. What is the
advice? Is always check your tire pressure.
And you've never done that?
No. I have.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
okay,
what it boils down to is, if you check your tire pressure in your car, right, your tires are gonna be properly inflated. They're gonna wear properly. They're gonna last longer. Your car's gonna run better, right? And if you're taking the time to check your tire pressure, you're also probably gonna be checking the oil, making sure that the tune-ups get done on time. The car's gonna last longer. You're gonna save money. In other words, if you take care of the little shit, the big shit's going to fall into place, and everything else is going to work its way out.
See, I like that advice. That sort of
also you get better gas mileage.
Sounds like it means something else, but it's actually just
right.
Focus on one important thing.
Exactly. Take care of the little details, and the big stuff falls in place, and everything works the way it's supposed to work. And everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. Just like this last festival. Look, take care of little details. Everything else is going to run perfectly. And I've never followed that.
But you have. No, I think you have. Mike Hader. This is. I mean, one of my favorite things. And I was telling him last night. Last night after the Tampa Bay ukulele getaway, it's now the second year. Mm-hmm. We come over to JT. Oh no, it's the third year we've had the party over here.
This is the third year we've had the party here.
Second year we've done the live stream.
The first year I didn't have a stage in here. All I had it out here was the tiki bar here, which by the way is made out of the desk I got when I was 10 years old.
That's brilliant. I love that.
But I had the fire pit, but it was cold, and so the only reason we came out here was maybe to get a beer or a drink or something, and we just hang around the fire pit and maybe some ukes, and people stood around in the living room really not much was done.
Yeah, it's still a lovely, pleasant.
Yes, it was a
low-key
nice time, but it was not.
thing. It wasn't a party.
It was a nice get together.
Yes.
But,
So last night we were all here at the house, a whole bunch of us from the ukulele getaway, Tampa Bay ukulele getaway, and one of the people there is our dear friend Mike Hayter,
yeah.
who runs UWC, which is I know it's my idea of the best way to spend a weekend or a week, and it is basically it's a couple of hundred ukulele players on a field camping out and playing music together
With a big old bonfire and a stage of the
big
PA.
old bonfire. Yeah, and that was the first year I was standing there with Mike, and Mike is my Buddha. He's my fuzzy Buddha. He is this peaceful, amazing, surprisingly driven for how laid back he is.
Yeah.
Guy, he's just an amazing person, and I turned to him and I was just sort of soaking it all in and getting high off of the vibes of the whole thing. And I said, Mike, you've created something magical here. And he said, yeah, when I first had this idea, I said, yeah, I think I'll have a party to have some friends over. And, I want my ukulele people to come. And he said, everyone was telling me, oh, you have to organize and make schedules, and you got to book people, and you got to do this. And I'll never forget it. He goes, I said, nah. I'm going to make sure there's some lights on the stage and a PA system, make a bonfire, and maybe get a couple of crappers.
Yeah.
Everything else will work out. And I'll tell you,
Yeah.
everything else will work out that is my mantra.
Yeah.
And it's funny because our friend Amanda Lynn Boyson was on, it'll now be 2 weeks ago, and her advice was from her dad, Steve, who's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
And it was make 2 lists. One is the stuff that you can do and get done, and the other is the stuff that you have no control over. And this sort of speaks to that.
Yeah.
Always check your tire pressure.
Yeah.
That is something that you can do
You can control.
and should do.
Yeah.
And it is a way to take control of your life. I actually really quite like that because it's so sort of out of left field.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you do. I mean, you now own your own house.
It took a while.
Dude,
But
we're around the same age.
Yeah.
I don't own my own house at all.
Yeah.
You've got a good group of friends.
Yeah. I do. No doubt about that.
Wherever you can, you take very good care of them. You are honestly one of the most loving people I've ever met in my life.
Man.
And you got a great wife, great family, great kids.
Thanks.
Your daughter's like stupid talented.
Yeah. She's my retirement plan right there.
And Tig is, basically
14-year-old kid.
14-year-old dickhead that you're thinking that you're like, maybe my parents had it right. We should said no. He's a great kid.
He's
He really
awesome.
is. He's my wife always says, when one of the nieces or nephews hits 13, she goes, cool, see you in 11 years. see you when you're not a pain in the ass anymore.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
And he is one of the few 14-year-olds that I can bear being around.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, here's a funny story about Mr. Secret real quick, though. One time, on one of those runs, we're heading down to Fairhaven. He was one of those guys, there was a bunch of blank switches on his dashboard. And he goes, he had one of them turned into a kill switch. So if the button was pushed, the engine would not start. It would kill the engine. And I go, oh, is it this one? Click. Killed the car.
Oh, no. Oh,
And he
no.
goes, oh, boom. He turned it back on, and the car just turned right back on and started going again. And he goes, yeah, I better get that switch the other way.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun ride.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would have just kept pushing it. Oh, not this one. You don't want me to push this.
No, that one.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah,
don't push this one.
that one there, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you honestly, you don't think that you check the tire pressure?
These days you don't have to. The light comes on if it gets low enough.
No, but in life.
No, I do. Yeah, no, I do. But it's funny because, when you told me you were going to come up with this show, and so to start thinking of some advice that someone gave you, I hadn't thought of that in forever, and I'm like, well, yeah, he did tell me that, and it when you first told me the advice, back in the day, I didn't really think of it in the way that we're talking about it, but then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, well, that's really kind of what he meant, and it really is, and that's the way it works out. If you take care of those details, if you make sure that your ducks are in a row,
Yeah.
the small things, the big things, they click into place, and it really hit home with this festival that we just had.
That's the Tampa Bay Ukulele Getaway.
The Tampa Bay Getaway.
Which next year is going to be on the
down
on the beach.
Yeah, down St. Pete Beach at the Serrata. It's going to be amazing.
It really is.
It's going to be amazing once we get our lineup put together.
The nice thing is I've already gotten the nod.
Yeah, we're going to have Mike back. Definitely.
I'm going to be going back as the MC. I was very, very honored and fortunate to do it this year. It's just I love doing the open mic, which is the night before. On the Fridays there's an open mic, and we get people getting up. And because this is the fourth one that I've done,
yeah.
And the first one, I was a nobody. No one had ever heard of me or anything. And I did the open mic, and God, good Lord, I look at that video and I just cringe because it's all too fast, it's poorly played, it's badly sung. And what's even sadder is I'm still doing those songs in my set. And then the second year was that the Craig and Sarah year that I played the local? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was the second year.
We had our local showcase.
Yeah, there was a local showcase instead of the open mic, which I loved because I got to headline that.
You got to,
and then last year I was very
the local boy from Bermuda.
Yeah, local guy from Bermuda.
Steve, that was our way to get him on the stage without having to,
pay me.
Getting you going, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it really was. It was a wonderful thing because it was the first time that I felt supported from sort of not legitimate, but sort of the professional ukulele society community. Yeah. I'd gotten to know a lot of people on Ukulele Underground and everything. But the festivals are a big thing, and it was the first time, and I've been doing it professionally for like a year and a half, and it was really, really nice of you guys to do that because it sort of, and it was I don't think I've ever told Steve this, but it was at a time that I needed to be I needed some validation kind of thing. And it really was a turning point for me. So I will always be grateful to you guys for that. So yes, and next year it will be down on the beach. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Real resort.
Yeah,
a real getaway.
This year was remarkable.
Oh, we had a great time. It was a great show. Huge.
With Danielle the Sandwich, who was on,
she was amazing.
My Best
Absolutely
Advice last
amazing.
week, and Algerine, who was
actually. Oh, last week, right?
Last week of the show.
Last week of the show, right?
Not last.
Yeah.
This is the tough part about doing podcasts. Is I'm here in Tampa, and I've been able to get 3 people in like 3 days, and just bang them out and stagger the release of them. But yes, last episode was Danielle Ate the Sandwich, and
Looking forward to that.
She was amazing performance, and of course Amanda is. Standby down here. She's one of the family of the T-Bug family.
Yep.
And Matt Lindahl came down. Matt Lindahl is one of my favorite people. Those of you that know my music and know my CD, Matt is the guy who wrote A Song for Everyone. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
Amazing guy. Absolutely
he's an amazing guy, and he's going to be on the show at some point in the future. Yes, it was a good thing, and yeah, the going back to the advice, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but the weirdness of check the tire pressure, always check your tire pressure,
Right.
takes the pressure off of, no pun intended, off of, if you tell someone, pay attention to the small things,
Yeah.
that way lies obsession.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
say always check the small things, people can start go, oh, well, I need to check this, and I need to check this, and I need to check this.
Yeah.
A, it's a little odd and makes you think about it, and B, it's just saying, just do that one thing that needs to get done,
Yeah. Exactly.
and then do all of the one things that need to get done.
Yeah.
And breaking it down does sort of make it a little easier to swallow.
Sure.
I like that one. I like always check the tire pressure. It makes you laugh at first, and then when you stop and you go, this is a piece of advice, it then makes you think about it, which is kind of
And it's practical because
it's very practical, because I never check my tire pressure. Hell, I didn't check my oil thing, and that's why I don't have a bike anymore, because stupid. I'm just stupid.
Yeah, well.
But I'm going to write that on my next bike. I'm going to write, always check the tire pressure. I'm going to get one of those, those
The old one.
wheels, the wheel that you
Yeah.
make the sticky thingy. What are they called? Daisy wheels.
Oh, yeah, one of them.
I'm going to get a daisy wheel.
Label
and write
maker.
always,
Yeah.
Label maker.
Daisy wheel label maker, yeah.
So it'll look like an old 1970s yacht.
Be sure to get it in brown,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
the brown tape.
Yeah, because that was always, you always just saw the brown tape.
Yeah, the
everywhere,
brown
and we're
tape
like,
ones, yeah.
why would you get brown tape? Why would you not get just black or red or blue?
Or blue, no, brown.
Let's get brown. Brown is nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was the 70s, though. 70s was a very brown decade.
It was a very brown and orange.
Brown chicka bow bow. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Although that might go in the front as a lead. The intro to this is just going to get longer and longer every week as I add stupid little bits from every show. Oh, goodness. So there we are. So that's the plugs. Do you have any plans for podcasting more?
I need to get back to it and get Drawing the Wrong Conclusion back up and running. Now that it's cooling off again, and the Night Geek Studio Lounge and podcast studio here is not roasting. It is in my garage in Florida.
Oh,
here.
don't dispel the magic. We all thought it was in a professional studio.
Well, it is.
It is.
With the manatee fountain out front.
Yes.
Yeah, as we say, from beautiful downtown Palm Harbor.
Is there actually a manatee fountain somewhere?
There used to be. We got rid of it. We paved it over to make the executive parking garage.
Well, currently you have a turkey sculpture outside.
Yes.
It's an inflatable turkey sculpture.
Egbert. Or was it? Wasn't it? Was his name Edward? No, it was what you name him?
Oh, I forgot.
Gilbert.
Gilbert
The turkey.
Gilbert the turkey.
There. Yeah.
That's right.
where the manatee fountain used to be.
We can make you a manatee fountain, an inflatable manatee fountain.
That would be awesome. Now, where the podcast studio is livable again.
Yes.
I could probably start podcasting.
And I have actually lived in here.
You have. This
I
is your
came down
bedroom.
here.
I'm sitting on your bed.
You're sitting on my
currently.
bed, right where my head was too, which is a little disturbing. I came down here. Good Lord,
That was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Had to have been 2 years ago.
Oh, it'll be almost 3. No, it can't be. 2 years. Yeah, no, it must have been 2.
Oh,
With
there's
the
day.
Uncle Elvis and the Flea Bitten Dogs Head South, the Finally Warm tour. The year before, we had done a tour of the Midwest, and it was about as cold as I've ever been in my life. I think my toes are finally starting to thaw.
Yeah, but at least we carpeted your bedroom now.
And you carpeted my bedroom now, and I slept here in the Night Geek Studios and Tiki Lounge with my best friend, the Cricket.
Yeah.
Who I should make a little gravestone for him. R.I.P. the goddamn Cricket. I'm sorry I didn't get to kill you myself. This thing would go all night.
But yeah, no, if they want to just give us a like on Facebook, Night Geek Studios on Facebook, or You can all the podcast, Drawing Conclusion podcast links are posted there. Or if you just want to go to nightgig.com, of course, all the podcasts are posted there if and ever when they do podcasts. Or Night Gig Studios on YouTube.
And you also do, what's your YouTube channel?
What, JT Pokey? Oh, no, I can't remember. It's just JT Shea on Facebook, on YouTube?
It might be JT Shea.
I think it is.
We probably should have prepared this beforehand. But
it's
he does.
It's been so long since I put anything on by myself on YouTube.
Every once in a while,
I've got
JT
100
will
plus
do.
ukulele videos on there. I don't know what the heck it's called anymore.
JT will do a wonderful, like a Friday evening.
Well, that's on the Night Gig. That's
on
on
the Night Gig
Night
as
Gig
well.
Studios on
So
YouTube.
do check out Night Gig Studios. He does JT behind the bar.
Behind the bar.
And he, it should be mentioned that JT is a big, beautiful, blue-eyed Irishman. And he stands behind the bar and talks and occasionally plays some music. And, well, you drink.
Yeah.
You drink.
And the chat window's up, and I take requests, and I talk at the microphone and the camera. And,
Yeah, and we sort of yell at him to do something stupid.
and now that it's getting cooler, like I said, I might actually start doing that again.
There you
so.
go. So do
Yeah.
that. So thank you so much, JT.
You're welcome.
This has been. I'll tell you, every show I do is different, and it just goes all over the place, and I love it.
The range of the people you've had on so far, I am like, I can't believe you're talking to me, but that's fine.
But you are very much you are my guru.
It's not often I'm the interviewee on a podcast. I've interviewed so many different people, from the webcomic world and music world and stuff, that it's nice. Well, it's interesting. It's different to be the interviewer, so it's kind of cool. Interviewee instead of her.
So those are the plugs.
It's fun.
Yeah, if you're interested in ukuleles at all, you can check out. It's July 1st that they've done some pre-sales up until a little while ago. They had some a very special pre-sale thing going on.
That was
over
only
now.
that was only for the current attendees.
And then, so on July 1st at midnight, that's when we usually all get on Skype or Google Hangouts and
see how quickly
hang
they
out
sell
together and go, holy crap,
For the Tempo
8
Ukulele
minutes.
Getaway, we sold out. Tempo Ukulele Getaway this year sold out in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
We only had 150 tickets, and they were gone.
gone. And it is in fact a wonderful wonderful festival. And you guys raise money. Are you still doing?
Yeah,
You
we
were
did.
doing-
We did a library lending program. We donated 50 ukuleles to the Pinellas and Hillsborough County Libraries here in Florida for the people to check out with books and tuners, and then not only that, but they did that along with setting up workshops for people to come and learn how to play the ukulele. So
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
So it's all about the education and all that.
it is. We give
and
back. We're not for profit, so we're doing it for the money. We're doing it for the community and for the love
for the
of
community,
ukulele.
and because
It's fun.
it's a party, so that you can get your friends. To come to.
It's a way to get my friends to
Exactly.
come to Florida and party at Night Gig Studios.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. As always, my best advice is brought to you by Mims Ukes, who was just here. She was here last
Yes,
night.
she was.
Slept here
Green
last
hair
night.
and all.
And I got dragged out of bed after about 3 hours of sleep to give her a hug goodbye. Mim is phenomenal. If you're interested in ukuleles at all and are looking to buy a new one, do go to mimsukes.com and check it out. She will sell you a phenomenal uke at an amazing price, and when you get it, it will feel like butter in your fingers because she sets them up better than anyone in the biz. So that's mimsukes.com, and there's also nightgig.com or nightgig on Facebook.
And Night Gig Studios on YouTube.
Night Gig Studios on YouTube.
Where is-
And
Currently, 9 hours of after party video up there right now.
9 hours of, well, it wasn't that bad this year, but last year it was 10 hours, 10 and 3/4
Something like that from last year, but that's
of of slowly degrading sobriety.
That's not on YouTube though. That was on live stream, and it's only about 15 separate performances and put up on YouTube for that.
Oh.
I have to still continue to edit that.
But do check it out because
Yeah.
there's some really fun stuff on there, and it'll give you an idea of sort of what we do when we all get together and do stupid stuff together. So
beautiful thing.
thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show in any way, shape, or form, I would truly, truly appreciate it with all my heart. Go to patreon.com/Mike Hind with a capital N and a capital H and become a patron. You are wonderful human beings. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh, bye, folks.